Welcome everybody, welcome to our show. This is our first episode. My name is Lance, Pro-Solutionist on Instagram and TikTok. The first guest we're gonna have on the show is...
Puares. Hello.
Welcome. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, but what better time to actually get this done and start this than 2 to 3 days away from your third competition?
Yeah.
Which is the very thing we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to ask her a series of questions that has to do with her category, the things that she learned as far as bodybuilding, some pointers for you guys if anyone out there wants to start or begin their fitness journey. So we're going to get started. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know I'm just days away from the competition, so mentally I'm feeling pretty good. I'm tired though. Not gonna lie, yeah. It's a part of it, you know. You're low on calories. You've been going for so many weeks, and it's getting down to the wire. So this is where I have to push through. So I'm feeling pretty good though.
Yes. First question I have is, you said push through, low calories. How does that affect other parts of your life as far as like working and doing the things you have to do there and just driving and just everything that you have to do that's outside of the gym?
You really have to find more focus. I think just really I have to concentrate a little bit more. I know, like, being present, because I know a lot of things are happening. You know, if I'm driving cars driving by, I have to make sure that I get to my destination safely. At work, I have to make sure that I'm logging everything correctly. So I'm just trying to like be as present as I can, not rush the process, even though I'm tired or not lag.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's but at the same time, just be like, this is all part of the journey. So like, not find a negative in why am I so tired, or like just try to be positive in this slow moment.
Right,
or slow time, I should say.
I get that, the internal dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that it is possible for people who have jobs, full-time jobs, other things other than the gym. It is possible to get competition ready with other things going on.
Oh yeah. It's possible.
Yeah, because people maybe have their internal dialogue going on thinking that, oh, that's for people who only do that, or that's for people maybe with part-time jobs or other things, or not all this stuff that I have to deal with. But you guys, listeners out there, she has a full-time job and everything that goes along with living in this world. But it's about prioritizing what you believe is important and staying positive, staying present.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good advice. The next question I got is, what version of yourself did you have to become in order to step on stage?
Definitely a person that I wouldn't have been able to recognize, because it takes a different mindset to step on stage to prep for a competition. The workout, you know, that's pretty easy. You know, you can be motivated to go to the gym and do the workouts, but it takes a person to have like real true discipline to follow through the prep, the instructions, you know, as far as like taking instructions from a coach, and just someone who's mentally tough, not afraid to make mistakes, not afraid to fail, because it's gonna happen sometime, and because every journey is not perfect, so, and everything is not going to go your way. You know, you could probably have or picture a perfect scenario how everything's going to play out, but life is still happening. Things are still going to blindside you, come out of the blue, and you're going to have to learn how to manage your emotions and just stay on track, stay focused, and like you said, like prioritize like the important things. So
very true. I want to say that you do look absolutely great. But I think, again, going to the internal dialogue of our listeners, did you always look this great?
No. Nope. My journey actually started like 5 years ago. I want to say before COVID. Yeah. I was at my heaviest. I want to say like pushing 170. Yeah. And when I started my journey, it was just basically, you know, like I wasn't really a gym girly, so I just knew pretty much just cardio, didn't know how to lift weights, nothing. So long story short, luckily I had a dog. The dog had a lot of energy, so he was my motivation to get outside and run. Yeah. I started doing that, then I started to do home workouts because I wasn't comfortable going to the gym. Right. Once I started being consistent with that, then I got the gym membership. Then I started working out with you, and then because of your expertise and your discipline and just your character in the gym and just everything that embodies fitness, you had it all already packaged, and I just had to follow that. So in my way, I kind of implemented some things that learned from you, and just kind of followed, and made mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was growing muscles. I shed the weight. I think I shed like about 40 pounds before I started prepping. So that's a big
Sure.
weight drop. But that's also like not only just dropping weight but gaining muscle.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, when I was doing it on my own, I was just losing the pounds.
Right.
I wasn't putting on the muscle.
Right.
So but yeah, once I decided and commit to doing a show, then the body composition really started to show what we built together as a base,
Yes.
and then just added on from that.
Right. Well said. So it wasn't 170 to stage overnight.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a process.
It was a whole process. Yeah.
Right. It was a process. So those of you who are looking at your life, how busy you are, and think that this has to be done overnight, it doesn't. It's just one step at a time. She started with just walking the dog, and then running, and then just doing what she could. So you don't have to do and fit everything in 1 month, 1 week. It's a process. Second question. A lot of people see the physique on stage, but what did bodybuilding build inside of you?
It built a lot of things. A lot of things that I needed to work on. I wasn't missing, but I needed to work on.
Yeah.
So grit, definitely. I needed to just get that grit, the resilience, build that up. Confidence, definitely confidence, because it takes a lot of confidence to step on that stage, especially in like a two-piece.
Yeah.
Being exposed, you are exposed. You're showing what the work you've done, but you're also showing flaws. So you have to be confident in being okay with just, showing what you got.
Yes.
It definitely built up my faith. It took a lot to believe in myself, because my story had me lose a lot of belief in myself. So it took time for me to believe in the things that I could do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Often it does. You pointed to the two-piece in the picture. Tell me about this. Is this your first competition? Which one was?
So this is my second competition.
Okay.
So we'll go to the first. Actually, that one is my first one.
Okay.
In October, I did the ASA stage here in Vegas, and that was my very first show, and it was fun. I honestly didn't have any expectations for this one, because I didn't know, like I love I started to love the process and the whole prepping part. I didn't know if it was going to be something that I would fall in love with. But I just kind of like walked into just take everything in and see and processing it after, like if this is something I could continue, or if this was just a one-time thing.
Yes.
But after that show, I was actually surprised that it placed, because the competition, the girls in competition, like they're very young. I'm a little bit older, and they all look great. Everyone looked great, but this category is very new. It's like maybe like 1 year old when I jumped into it, so they didn't know exactly a criteria standard that they're looking for. Is kind of basically like they're choosing obviously who looks the best, so me being my first show, I literally jumped in. Normally people, when they decide to do like prep for a show, they're deciding like 16, 18, 20 weeks out. Right. I decided to jump in literally right at the start at like 12 weeks. I was pushing it. So I had a lot of work to do. But I was proud of myself, because I never thought that I could have done that. Really didn't.
Yeah.
But this one here was literally a month after. This is Steve Carr. I actually placed better here. Expectation, because I knew what it took to place higher, or what it took to step on stage a little bit more confident, I made that switch, and I think that's why I placed a little bit higher, and that's why I looked a lot more leaner than that time.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that this show was your first one, and that one's just a month later.
That was just a month later.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. I mean, you think that, you went from, I don't know if I can do this, to doing and being new to this, being new to posing, being new to bodybuilding and dieting and weighing food and all the things that goes into being stage ready. You went from not sure to doing another show a month later.
Yeah.
Wow. And that brings me to my next question. But before I go there, I want to jump back when you said, especially for the viewers, because I want to kind of get into that internal dialogue of anybody who believes that they cannot do it. And you said that you came in and I had a good foundation and I let you and I taught you, how to squat and all those other things. For you guys, some people might think, well, she has somebody, that's why. It doesn't matter if you have somebody or not. If you're not willing to take that step, it really doesn't matter. And I know and are aware of many couples that are out there. One goes to the gym, one stays home. It could be the man that stays home. It could be the woman that stays home. It's the choice of the individual. And I want to let you in on something else. I've never competed. So she's actually went further than what I've done. I've just been in the gym for years. So the competition and the fact that she wanted to compete, that came from deep down inside of her. And that came from believing in herself and believing that she can do it because she built the base of consistency in the gym. So going back to this show being your first one and a month later the second, and you weren't really sure if you can actually do that. My next question is, what did bodybuilding force you to confront about yourself?
That's a good question. It forced me to confront a lot of lies that I was telling myself, that I'm too old, you can't do it, who does she think she is? A lot of negative talk that I told myself, a lot of disbelief. But facing that and talking, I did a lot of internal dialogue, a lot of internal dialogue to have been able to step on stage. But yeah, it's just strength really got me through to push, to look myself in the eyes and tell myself the truth.
Yeah.
I really had to face the truth of tell myself, like, you were the one who said that you can't do this. Now you have to tell yourself you can. I had to reverse everything that I was telling myself before.
Right.
Yeah.
So while you were prepping, working out, getting ready for the show, there was an internal dialogue of negativity going on. Mm-hmm. I hope you guys caught that. If you guys are waiting to have a positive dialogue, you're going to be waiting forever. It's about battling while battling. And what that means is you are battling your internal negative dialogue to make it positive while you are moving forward in your life. So she was battling while she was battling. She was going to the gym, prepping, weighing food when the negative thoughts presented itself. But she was in forward motion. Don't wait to feel good. Don't wait for things to line up. And don't wait for 100% positivity. Because I'm telling you, I don't know your life, but I know life. It's not going to happen. So what I know is God plays a big role in your life. Mm-hmm. And I know how much you rely and how much your faith is in God. So my next question is, what role does trust in God's plan play in your journey?
I feel like his role in this journey is basically preparing myself. He's preparing me for something that he had called me for, the assignment, the real assignment. Like, this bodybuilding, I believe, is not my assignment. It's not what I'm here to do. Mm-hmm. It's the characteristics, the skills, the mindset, everything that I need to build to be prepared for what he has for me next.
Yes.
So that's why I chose to still stick with it, because after the first show, second show, going into the second show, I could feel that change, that it made me shift in a lot of thinking of why, of all things that God could put on my heart to do, any job, career, any hobby, why was this pressing so hard? Mm-hmm. So
it's a good question.
I had to go deeper in thought of it's not what I'm going to get out of it as far as the results, as far as physical results. It's what the result of me becoming through the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
That was absolutely powerful, because it got me to think about, this is going to resonate with the viewers and preparing them for their journey. And that's those of you who believe in God and those of you who do not. This is going to help you. But I'm going to address the ones who believe in God. And that is anything that God has for you to do, purpose-wise, meaning what you actually are here on this earth to do. Not what you're doing, what you actually were created to do. You're going to need discipline, focus, consistency, and the will not to quit, and many other characteristics of winners. You're going to need that. So find something that instills those characters and values inside of you and make that the foundation that you build your life and purpose on, because God is going to need those characteristics and you're going to need to have them to do whatever he wants you to do. Now, those of you who do not believe in God, you should, but this is not the show for that. I would say anything you want to do and that you want to be successful in, you're going to need those characteristics also. You're going to need to be able to move while negative dialogue is in your mind. You're going to have to move forward. You're going to have the will not to quit. You're going to have to do it when you don't want to do it. Those are some of the key elements of every successful person. I want to get to your next show questions, but this is going to be the last one until we get into that. What would you tell someone thinking about competing for the first time?
There's a lot that I could say, but I would probably ask them first, why are you competing? What's making you want to do this? If it's to look leaner, to look good, then trust me, if you stick to the plan, you listen to your coach, you're going to get the result. But if you are wanting something deeper, it really comes down to that, your why, because then you will see how hard you're going to push yourself. I would also tell them, trust the journey. It's like everything else in life. It's a delayed gratification, and nothing's going to happen overnight. Have patience. You're going to learn how to have a lot of patience. You're going to have to learn how to be okay with being a little selfish, because this is a selfish sport. You are going to be so hyper focused on what time you got to wake up, what meal do I have to eat, do I have everything as far as like prepped and packed. So just be prepared that you are going to go through a season of loneliness, but it's okay. You're going to have to, if this is what you want to do, just be prepared. And I know support is what we kind of find motivating, to keep going in the things that we want to do or be proud of. And sometimes the support from our closest friends and family is not gonna be there, but that's okay. You have to be okay with that, because there are gonna be people that you're gonna disconnect with, but you have to remember that this journey is not about them, it's about you. And as far as like finding support, let me tell you that there's so much support and community in this bodybuilding that you wouldn't even imagine, like how much people you will meet, and they're literally like your biggest cheerleaders, they're your biggest motivators. Like people will message you to check on you, and they're not even like, you don't even know them for like a whole month. You just make connections with the right people, and it's the right people that you need to go along this journey with. And that's what just be aware of too. So yeah,
that was helpful. I'm sure that somebody who is starting or wanting to start found value in what you just said, and that's encouraging. Also, you probably answered a lot of their questions, like if I don't have support, what's going to happen? Am I going to be alone? So you touched on some key points. All right, I do have several other questions that I wanted to draw out because you kind of reminded me, but I'll save that for the next episode. I want to actually use the rest of the time to dial in on questions about your upcoming show.
Okay.
So when is your upcoming show? How many days out are you?
Upcoming show is this Saturday. Yeah, we're pretty excited about that one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Like, is from your first show, your second one?
To be honest, like I feel like I don't want to say every day is different, because day is kind of long. It's sometimes during the day I have moments of nervousness.
Right.
But I am very much more confident in going into this show, because did already 2 shows. I'm not a pro, but like I'm seasoned. So I kind of know what to expect, know the timeline, the things that I have to do to prepare for the show. Yeah, the nerves still come back. I was literally nervous yesterday. I closed my eyes, try to take a nap. I closed my eyes and I was just like, wow, this show is coming up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be on that stage again. Then I was literally like shaking. I could feel like the jitters while I was lying down. It's gonna happen. I'm more excited than anxious, nervous, I should say. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I like that. So you did this show, and a month later you did that show. You're doing this show in 3 days, and I think you're in competition with yourself because you're going to beat that month gap with another show a week after the show that's coming up.
Correct.
How does that feel?
You know what? I don't want to say I'm stressed out, but it's gonna push me. So I'm excited. I'm actually excited. I'm excited to see who I'm gonna become more of going
Right.
into like a back-to-back show.
Yes.
Because it does happen in real life. You know, like there are pros that does back-to-back. But
Right.
you know, me being so new to this and me having like a month to just kind of like go in, process, get ready and go. I'm literally like ready, go, back to peak week and go again.
Right.
You know, so it's really gonna show. I think it's really gonna show myself like how prepared I am as far as like not only preparing for the show, but then as far like mentally, like when, and I'm putting God in this, like when God tells me to do this, I'm done. Okay, cool. Now he's gonna, like, you may never know when he's gonna call you to do something
Right.
else. So you gotta be prepared to do that, the next thing.
True.
Because he may not give you some time off to process or to
Yes.
get ready for the next one. You just gotta be ready to go. So
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's I have to be
Right.
excited. I have to be ready.
You could not have become who she is without doing this.
Yeah.
And who she is, she could not have became who she is not doing this.
Right.
You are not the same from even this first show. And I like that. I like that after this third show, you won't be the same. You're sitting here right now, but it's going to change you.
Yeah.
And it's going to change you for the better. And people want to change, but you have to do something to change. If you want to change for the better, that means you have to look at your fear in the face and tell it, move. I'm going forward. You don't back up, you don't bend, you don't break. You go forward. Because fear stops a lot of people. If you don't believe me, ask somebody why they're not doing a certain thing that they want to do. And most of the time, when I ask that question, 9.5 times out of 10, they give me the H word. And it's hard. That's why you want to do it. Because if it's hard, that means that you will get and gain the strength needed to move on. I'll hit you real quick with just an analogy. Bible. Everybody knows David. He did not go from shepherd boy straight to Goliath. He had to fight a lion and a bear to prepare him for Goliath. So this may be the lion and the tiger for ultimately to gain strength and determination to beat the Goliath that she will have to face later, because we all got one. But God has to prepare us to face that Goliath. Remember, he's a father. Second, he loves us. And no father that loves their child is going to send him into battle ill prepared. So when you look at this, you said you were 170 pounds, and that was what, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You look at this, I mean, because this is hanging up. What do you feel? What does that do?
It makes me feel proud of myself. It reveals to me how much I've overcame, because I do a lot of reflection of like what my past was. I look at this, or I look at myself now and look at myself back, and I'm just like, I'm not that person anymore. And I hope that people who know me, they see the change. They see the forward progression that I've done, the hard work that I've done. Like, I see the hard work. I feel the hard work, I see it, it's more than just having a lean body with muscles and looking great in a bathing suit. It's growth, it's evolution.
Yeah.
It's my evolution,
Yes.
really.
Yeah, good. I mean, that was straight from the spirit. This is straight from the heart. You can tell your passion. You can tell that this is something that you are focused and locked in. And that's exactly what it's going to take to do the things that you have done and do the many things that you will do. And we will cover a lot more of different topics. This is the first episode. What is your Instagram, or how do people?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Pua, P-U-A, Pua.reys. So it's Pua.reys.
And I'll put that up on the screen. And those of you who don't believe that she was 170 pounds, she's gonna hate me, but I'm gonna post a picture of her. So just in case you think she's lying, I got it and I saved it. So you'll be able to see just the transformation, and that's the outer transformation, to mention the inner transformation. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this first episode, and I hope that you found value in this and what Pua had to say. And you were awesome.
Thank you.
You were great.
You too.
Yes.
Yes, this is
Spoke
great.
from the heart, authentic, and that's exactly what this show is going to be about. Straight from the heart, authentic, not scripted.